So Motorola certainly wants to retain its title as the most prolific smartphone manufacturer in 2023. They've already spunked out 4 new phones, and today we're going to be checking out this bad boy here, the Moto G53 5G, which will cost you 189 British punds. For under 200 quid, you get a lovely stock Android 13 experience. You got a 6.5-inch LCD display with 120Hz refresh, stereo speaker setup, 5G action, a mighty 5000 mAh battery, and a 50 meg camera sensor. So let's yank the Moto G53 out the box, take you on a full tour, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So inside of the box, you've got yourself one Motorola Moto G53 5G. You've got yourself a dinky wee 3-pin power adapter and a Type-C USB cable, and that is your lot. Sadly, no condom case bundled there in the box. You're gonna have to get your own if you want that extra protection. Alright, so there's not really any surprises when it comes to the design of the Moto G53. It's about average size for these days, 6.5 inches. Thankfully, not much in the way of bezel action surrounding that screen. Ever so slight bit of chin action, not quite a full-on Jimmy Hill. You got reasonably flat edging on this thing, although it does sort of taper towards the screen and that arse end. And then, shock surprise, it is a placky back, full-on plastic finish. Precisely what you'd expect from a smartphone that costs under 200 pound. You've got a choice of 3 different colours here. This is the ink blue, otherwise you can also grab the Moto G53 in Arctic silver or pale pink. The ink blue is your standard Motorola colour. They do like a deep, moody blue. And it is a matte finish, so it doesn't get horrifically grimy, although it definitely does pick up greasy prints still. The Moto G53 weighs just over 180 grams, so it is quite lightweight for a 6.5 incher. And it's water repellent, according to Motorola. So what that basically means is splash resistant, so don't worry if it gets a little bit moist, just give it a toweling off, it'll all be good. Just definitely do not 100% take it in the shower, take it into a hot tub, something like that. Now, no real shocks or surprises when it comes to the software either. What you've got on the Moto G53 is the latest, freshest Android 13, and it's a gloriously vanilla version as usual. And what I mean by that is Motorola does very little tampering. So what you get is a similar Android experience to what you get on the likes of the Google Pixel phones. Just don't expect the same level of software support that you would get from a Pixel smartphone. So I would expect maybe 1 Android OS update on this bad boy, maybe a couple of years of security updates, and then that is pretty much done. But I do very much enjoy the Moto app, which is slapped on top as one of Motorola's few additions. It does actually add quite a few bonus features to Android, but they're all tucked away neatly, all in this one main hub. So for instance, you can quickly and easily customize your smartphone, get the A53 looking just how you want it with your very own wallpaper. You can change up the theme and colors, play around with the icon design, all kinds of shenanigans. You can also perform a variety of quick actions with some gesture support, such as for instance a double karate chop, ow! Memo to self, don't do that over the table next time. And what this does is activate the torch, so a quick double chop will turn it on or off. If your wrist is up to it, you can also quick load the camera with a double wrist twist, like so. And you can even load up an app of your choosing with a double poke of the back end of the Moto G53, although this often takes a few attempts to actually get it to work. Never know how hard to poke it. It seems to be sort of fairly hard, but not too hard. And also reasonably quick, but not too quick. Come on, you tiresome. Ah, there we go. Phew, got there in the end. And you've got the usual lift to unlock, flip for do not disturb, etc. You've got a bunch of other stuff. You've got various security and privacy features. You've got tips and tricks on how to get started with your Moto G53 and Android 13. And then last up, a great section if you're a gamer or you like kicking back with movies and music, is the play menu. This is where you can configure the audio output via the Dolby Atmos menu. You can manually tweak the output or use a variety of different presets. And inside the play menu, you can also customize the media controls when the phone is hibernating, and you've got a bit of Moto game time as well, more on that in a bit. And the Moto G53 generously comes packing 128 gigs of storage space, quite a large chunk of that available as well, only 13 gigs taken up by the system files. And yes, indeed, you do have a bit of micro SD memory card support as well to expand that storage up to a further 1 terabyte if needed. Although you will need to slap that memory card into the second SIM slot, so you can't have memory expansion and 2 SIMs on the go at once. And as you can see here, you've also got support for eSIM as well as the physical SIM card, so that's definitely a nice little bonus. And the Moto G53 sports an edge-mounted fingerprint sensor that's built into this super skinny power button, and so far seems to do the job absolutely fine. Having no problems whatsoever with it not recognizing me or anything like that. It seems pretty responsive as well. As soon as you tap your digit to that surface, you're basically straight in. And yes, you do have face unlock as a backup as well. Now the 6.5-inch LCD display of the Motorola Moto G53 is pretty basic stuff. Don't be fooled by the fact that it's got a 120Hz refresh rate. It's pretty standard fare overall. You've only got an HD plus resolution for one, 1600 by 720, so don't expect super crisp visuals. If you pay close, you can see those images are a little bit pixely at times, but you know what, it's fine for just chucking on a bit of YouTube, bit of Disney Plus, whatever. Viewing angles aren't fantastic, but I've seen far worse, and when you crank up the brightness, it'll just about do you, even if it's quite a sunny day. We are talking a sunny day in the UK here though. Good f***ing luck seeing what's going on if you live in Honolulu. And contrast isn't great, so if you are watching murky fare on your Disney Plus or your Netflixes or whatever, you might struggle to work out what is actually bloody going on. But yes, you do have 120Hz refresh for supported apps, and you know, flicking around the UI, not the smoothest experience in the world, I've got to say, though that's more down to the general performance. And when you go full screen, thankfully that selfie cam orifice isn't ridiculously intrusive. No worse than any other phone around this price point. And the Moto G53 rocks a stereo speaker output as well, not something you always get at £200 or under. But does it not suck is the crucial question.
Well, let's whip the Moto G73 on out of its box, take you on a full-on tour, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. And I'll get to you bloody lot another time.
I've got to say again, for this sort of budget price point, that's a pretty good output overall. Quite loud on the top volume, so certainly loud enough to do you in a fairly raucous environment. And the quality isn't too dreadfully tinny either. You've got a reasonable amount of balance between the earpiece and that bottom speaker. So overall, yeah, that's alright. And the Moto G53 comes with Bluetooth 5.1 audio streaming support as well. Seems to do the job absolutely fine for just chucking your music on a speaker or a pair of headphones. But the even better news is you do actually get a 3.5mm headphone jack here on the Moto G53, an increasingly rare and obnoxiously hard to find feature. Now, if you're paying less than £200 for a smartphone, you can generally expect quite limited performance, and the Moto G53 does nothing to really change that. You got Qualcomm's Snapdragon 480 Plus chipset crammed into this thing, and that's backed by a rather measly 4 gigs of RAM. And for your everyday shenanigans, like just playing a bit of YouTube, playing some music, whatever you fancy doing, it's reasonably smooth. But I've certainly noticed that playing around in the camera isn't the fastest. As you can see there, you're waiting a good second or two for it to actually load up, and then swapping between modes sometimes can take a little while as well. But you do get a tasty bit of 5G support, and the Moto G53 is perfectly capable of a bit of gaming on the side. You certainly won't be able to get a bit of Genshin Impact on the go, nothing like that, but stuff like PubG and Call of Duty Mobile will play absolutely fine. Even on those higher graphics settings, good old COD maintained a smooth frame rate. The display is perfectly flat and perfectly responsive as well. I felt that I was about as good as I could possibly be at an online shooty thing where people are trying to murder me. Not only did my team comfortably win by quite a wide margin, but I was voted MVP as well, so go bloody figure. And yes, you do have that Moto Game Time mode as well, which is rather handy. You can either swipe it out like so during a game, otherwise you can have a little on-screen icon to poke. And this adds call blocking features, you can block all notifications. Got a high performance mode as well if you really want to push the Moto G53. And absolutely bugger all worries when it comes to the battery life as well. Motorola has stuffed a 5000 mAh capacity cell inside of the Moto G53. That's more than enough to give you easily a full day of play, most likely 2 days of use between charges, as long as you're not absolutely hammering it. So for instance, so far today, the battery life has only dropped about 25%, and I've been testing out the camera on this thing, I've been playing Call of Duty, I've been streaming YouTube, I've been doing all sorts of stuff. And this situation is of course helped out by the fact you've got that energy efficient Snapdragon 480 Plus chipset and the stock Android Vibe as well. When it comes to recharging the Moto G53, however, you're probably going to want to plug it in overnight because it only supports 10-watt charging. That's going to take bloody ages to fill up that 5000 mAh capacity cell. Now, pretty basic camera tech slapped on the back end of the Moto G53, again, as you'd probably expect. You've got a 50 megapixel primary sensor with no optical image stabilization, and then just a pissy 2 megapixel macro effort. It's Motorola's usual camera, pretty easy to use one-handed thankfully. You can drag down all the major toggles with a single thumb like so. In photo mode, by default, you do have lots of other bonus camera modes that you can play around with, like the portrait mode, a dedicated night vision mode. You've got a 50 megapixel ultra res mode as well, because it shoots 12.5 megapixel pics by default. But as you can see from this handy little message, the 50 meg mode only really works in strong daylight. And here's just a few sample shots that I've snapped with the Moto G53 over the last couple of days. No real surprises here. As long as the conditions are good, you'll get a perfectly fine detailed snap, respectable colour reproduction, and not too perturbed by HDR situations. Where it all falls apart is those lower light, more ambient shots where things get very murky and grainy, and also snapping living subjects can be really tricky due to the fact that it's not the fastest shutter speed, and I found that a lot of my snaps did come out blurry. If you want to, you can also capture a bit of video action, but unfortunately there's no 4K option here. It's basically full HD or nothing. And again, here's some sample home movies that I shot on the Moto G53. And again, as long as the lighting conditions are all right, then the video quality ain't too bad. The audio pickup is respectable, unless it's a bit gusty, in which case the whole thing's bollocksed. And then around front, you've got your basic bog standard 8 megapixel selfie shooter. Thankfully, not much detail packed into these selfie snaps, just as well if you're a bald, wrinkly sack of saggy flesh like I am. And as usual, you got a screen flash feature to illuminate your mug at night. And again, you can capture full HD resolution footage using that front-facing camera. The mic pickup seems to be absolutely fine as long as you don't hold the Moto G53 in a dodgy way, smothering those mics. And there you have it, my lovelies. That, in a tasty little nutshell, is the Motorola Moto G53, available right now direct from Motorola for £189, and also probably available in various UK high street stores, the ones that haven't shut down. If you're after absolutely tip-top performance at this sort of price point, you might want to look at the likes of the Xiaomi Redmi smartphones instead. But the Moto G53 offers a gloriously stock vanilla Android experience. You've got some pretty decent specs. Display is unfortunately nothing to write home about, but the battery life absolutely bloody wonderful. So what do you reckon about the Moto G53? Be great to hear your thoughts down below. If you've been using the Moto G53, please do leave your own mini review. Poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.